Hi, sis. How are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support. Hope you all are doing great. So, this video, I came across this video and I thought I should share this with you because pan-colored women sometimes are not very good to my own community because you all know what they've been doing right from the onset from history. Number one is that they have a particular way they operate, and that it's on period. So if you've been following history and what has happened to the old people back then, it is still happening to this very moment. Still this very moment. They are always the victim, even when they are not. The fact that they feel that they have power over us is something that I don't understand. And then they go around to say that Black people or Black women do not like them or do not want to be in their space and all that. That is not it. You all have been showing attitude or have been doing something that made them to run away from you because they do not want problem. Because in the end, you are still going to be the one that is right and I am wrong, even though you are the wrong person, because they have a way of using that tear tactics to win everything. Now, let me tell us this. The people that are going to enrich the season are white women, but that is not their problem at this point in time. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's have a conversation, shall we? Your video was sent to me, and then I went down the rabbit hole because I'm a bigger rabbit. But then I saw this, and I became very intrigued.
I was listening to white people talk over a black woman while she was trying to explain why the N-word is racist. Not a good look. Oh, that's weird, because I was watching human beings having a conversation. You saw color, not me. But I'm the racist? You don't have a problem at all with her saying, "Shut your white mouth. A black woman is speaking"? You don't, that doesn't, not at all? That doesn't faze you? Why? Why couldn't she have just said, "Hey, can you please shut up or shut your mouth for a second, I'm speaking"? Why does she have to make it about race? She's trying to use her race to overpower his race and make it seem like she's superior, so she gets the floor. She doesn't get like extra coddling just because she's black.
That's what it all comes down to, right? Right? Extra coddling because she's black. I read your bio, the first video you put up there, that pinned video, and how you were really left-leaning until COVID happened, and then apparently you went down in the dark web, and all of a sudden you became Canadians' version of MAGA, I guess. And you were at the convoy. Okay. So I already know intellectually you and I are not on the same page at all. But I want to talk about that idea of you, this person that you were talking about saw color, you saw character. And that this woman made it about race when she said, "Shut your white mouth, a black woman is talking." Aww. And somehow you now feel like you're the victim of racism. Let you and I have a conversation, shall we? So I'm going to ask you a series of questions. What is it about blackness that bothers you? What is it? I mean, you seem like the sort of person that would answer those questions, even though you will do it under a filter. And I'm doing it with my own face, no filter, no magical dust ups or nothing like that. This is me. Why does blackness bother you so much? Do you see some sort of unfair advantage? Do you think the world caters to blackness? Why do you feel as though you taking up for Caucasian people can experience racism? And how can that happen? Again, you seem like the sort of person that I can ask this question to. What does it mean for a white person to experience racism? And please, do not give me Merriam-Webster. Not unless you're going to give me both of those definitions. Because I know, much like a whole lot of other Caucasian people, you only give half the story and then run with it. So, first off, what is it about blackness that bothers you? What is it? You see, what people like yourself fail to understand is that is all anybody in a marginalized community can do. And I understand you got it from Martin Luther King. You didn't get anything else from him, but that's okay. That's all we have. That's it. Content of character. That's all we got, and I will explain to you what I mean. You see, I have no idea about you. I don't. I have no damn idea about you. I don't know you from a can of paint. We've never met in real life. So I have to go on what you do rather than who you are. I run into white people all day, every day, 24/7, 365. Here in America, it's kind of an impossibility not to. And every single one of them can be very, very nice or very, very racist. I have to wait until they open their mouth for me to find out. But not you. That goes back to question number one. What is it about blackness that bothers you? What advantage do you think I have or anyone else has simply by being black? When that woman said, "Shut your white mouth," weren't you all trying to talk over the top of her? Weren't you? Seems a little bit, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm superior, so therefore I don't really care what you say ist. Don't you think? She's trying to make a point. Whole bunch of people in there talking over her. And considering the fact she's the only black person on the panel, there's a bunch of white people, maybe she did mean that. Maybe she did. Maybe she meant, shut your white ass up so I can talk. A black woman is talking. As in, not so much the blackness, but the woman part. I'm trying to make a point. A whole bunch of people want to talk over me. So I'm going to remind you, I'm the only person here of color. Why does that bother you? You've been in those convoys, right? Right? The Canadian convoy. You mean to tell me you never once heard a bunch of white people saying something racist? Not one time? Not one time? Really? You're going to tell me a bunch of truckers who are all hopped up on MAGA, not one time did you hear anything offensive? How come you're not at the convoy at Eagle Pass? Because I'm guaranteeing you'll hear some xenophobic slurs down there. Which brings me to Sunny point number 2. Have you ever experienced racism? Have you? I mean, I'm dead ass serious. Have you ever experienced it? What was the example? Some black person excluded you from something. Why? Because again, all we have is content of character. That's all we can go on. That's it. We have to wait until you say something before we have to realize, oh shit, this motherfucker's down the deep end. And you admit yourself, you are now a righty. So many things the country got wrong. And well, if you're already in those enclaves, you mean to tell me you have never heard anything racist? This is just a dialogue. I'm not even attacking you. I'm genuinely asking, what form of racism have you ever experienced? Ever had anybody burn something in front of your house? Oh, I'm sorry. That's too far back, right? That's too far back, right? You ever fit the description of someone? I'm 6 feet tall and 255 pounds. I'll give you 255. I always fit the description. One of the reasons I don't leave the house. Have you ever had that? Ever experienced that? But I'm pretty sure you have experienced sexism, right? So you know it when you see it. You know it when you see it. You've experienced sexism. Do you know racism when you see it? Have you ever experienced it to see it? $1 million question, isn't it? Again, this isn't an attack. It genuinely isn't. Call this a course correction. You see, I think Your heart may be in the right place, but you're really, really far off as far as your character is concerned. You now believe the idea that you can be a victim of something that has never affected you, something that you do not have a legacy of, something that nobody tells you about. Have you ever had to have the talk? You see, that's the thing. Those marginalized people that you swear up and down have so many benefits, which we don't, by the way. But those people that you swear up and down, we have these benefits because we're black. Please understand they're not benefits, because they come with the knowledge that stereotypes will walk in front of us before we ever enter the room. Have you ever had that happen to you? Ever been told your communities are hell on earth filled with crack, drugs, and single mothers? That ever happened to you? Maybe you should take time, step back, and rethink what you're saying. Again, not an attack, simply an observation from one of those people that you think have a benefit that you don't. I wish you a very good day.
I think one of the most harmful things about racism is that it has essentially made the truth controversial. I know a lot of Black people are not comfortable with telling the truth because there's a level of controversy in that truth. For instance, I made a video recently about how dangerous a lot of white women can be in this society. And there was pushback, which is weird because that's the truth. And over and over and over again, we have seen instances of white women being dangerous to Black people and people of color. And still, we find controversy in that fact. For instance, I recently saw a video of a hotel worker being harassed by a white woman. He has to physically subdue this woman from harming him. Now, keep in mind, this is a Black man. And so he is physically restraining this woman because she's trying to harm him. And the police come. Guess who they arrest? You got it, the Black guy. Because individual white women are backed by a system that sees them as damsels in distress. When white women are perceived as damsels in distress, every single person they come in contact with, they are a danger to. Because if you by default see a white woman as a damsel in distress, and by default you see a Black person as dangerous and violent, put two and two together. If there is a Black person or person of color in proximity to a white woman, they are seen and perceived as a threat to that woman. Are you following me? Your personal feelings on this matter are not important, because the fact of the matter is that you are dangerous to Black people and people of color by proximity. The first step in solving racism is white people need to step up and remove the controversy from fact. Your feelings don't matter. The truth does.
So let's talk about why people, specifically white women, think Black women hate them. Realistically, nobody hates you. Black women aren't thinking about you, but they don't like what you're doing. And what you're doing is interjecting yourself into Black spaces. Meaning that what a lot of people, specifically white women, do is want the Black aesthetic without dealing with Black oppression. Keep in mind how I'm never having these conversations with people who are comfortable in their racism. I'm having with people who want to be Black allies or Black friends or Black lovers without listening to actual Black people. I mean, Black women say, don't say the N-word, don't get box braids, don't get lip fillers, because it's appropriating our culture in a world where we're not free to exist within that culture. And instead, y'all take it as a personal attack on you instead of helping us dismantle the systems that are holding us back. I mean, y'all's ancestors built the thing that oppresses us, and instead of helping us, you just want to pretend to be us, and then are shocked when we're upset with you. Welcome to 2021. No one hates you, but we're holding you accountable, and your actions have consequences.
So this is all I got from the stitches and the video, and the truth is that I've been saying this thing, I didn't start saying it today, but one thing I want to tell us is that women are very dangerous to both Black women and Black men. Number one is that they start or they make themselves victim just straight up, because they don't want to hear what you have to say, because they don't want to identify with you, because they don't want to be part of what is going on. One thing I dislike about some of them is that they are always very eager to speak without even knowing what is going on or trying to listen to what a Black person is. Once a Black person or a Black woman says something, that is a problem, because they love to be the center of attraction. A Black woman was talking, and then they always want to talk over. So how do you want to learn? How do you want to understand what a Black person or a Black woman is saying, or what Black people are saying, if you are not willing and ready to listen? Because first of all, you have to listen to know what is going on, to understand their predicaments, right? But no, why do I have to listen to you when I am supposed to be the center of attraction? And then they go around to say, if I do not, they go around to say that Black women or Black people like to be coddled. So what are you telling me? The reality is that the way they use the N word or use the slur on Black people any chance they get is alarming. But I think Black people I don't think it's getting over the fact that they can wake up to probably race bait Black people or say some offensive things to Black people just to get Black people to react. But one thing I have noticed is that anybody that can come online to race bait or to provoke somebody, especially using a slur or trying to talk down on a Black woman, in real life, that person has been doing that. Just that she also want the whole world to know that this is me, this is what I have been doing, and that is it. So sometimes it's beyond respect. It's something that they've been wanting to do. It's something that they do even in the private places and all that. But they decided to bring it to the internet so other people can see how dumb or how racist they are. I want us to understand that, because sometimes we feel like it's just only race. No, they've been doing that all their lives, and they've been doing it in private. So they decided that everybody will have to say it and know that they do this. Then let's get into the fact that they are not just very dangerous to Black women, also to Black men, because I saw a video, a woman that has a biracial. Not just only that, I have, like, from the onset, if you look at the history from beginning to end, they have a specific way of operating. It is either they made an allegation over a Black man that looked over a Black man, and then that is how the problem started. Before you know what is going on, prison, before you know what is going on, incarceration and all that. Starting from the history of Black people, it has been there to this very moment, and nothing has changed about it. I remember a Black man who actually married to a that came online to raise alarm over what the wife is doing to him, calling cops, trying to take away the property. But sometimes I don't trying to interfere, because some people are also cause of their problems. The things they say Black women do to them, that they cannot endure from a Black woman. They endure Black women. They endure it from women or other people. So why were you coming online to scream that your palm-colored wife is up to or trying to take away your... I digress. Now, a Black man was out with a white girlfriend, and all of a sudden, she started blowing hot. So some people actually, the truth is that some people do not even know so much about their own history and how they operate. Some know and decided to ignore it. That's why most times when you see at some point they are living very fine, especially when they are married to Black men, before you know what is going on, it is another thing. They start telling stories that hurt. So what am I saying? In essence, you already have to be careful, because they are always the victim. You are going to be the one they hurt. Well, when the cops comes, you are the one that hurts them. I don't know if you understand what I am saying. the best you can do is to avoid this. But one thing I know for sure is that if right to the season is going to end, black women, white women are the one. I mean, they can end this in a twinkle of an eye, but it does not affect them. It is not their problem. So how do you want them to end it? Because then being right to the seas towards us is one of their, like what they have. I mean, like, one of their privileges. So how do you want to take away that privilege? See you all in my next video. Bye for now.